Hello and welcome to Tina and Karen Do the Tube. I am Karen.
This is Tina.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Augie Rose, who made us our intro music, which we have been using now for a few years, completely royalty free. Been very
Thank
appreciative of
you,
that.
Augie.
I hope he's doing good. I haven't heard from either of those two. My old roommates back
Mhm.
like 5, 6 years ago. Good people.
Mhm.
But he was a musician and he made us our intro completely just um, because he was a nice
Yeah.
guy. And
Didn't even put it towards rent.
yeah, I mean, I might have gave. No, I didn't give him any discount. I gave them really cheap rent though for a whole house, $500.
Hey, nice.
That's pretty damn cheap, right?
Isn't
Especially
it?
nowadays, but that was back then. So yeah, I was their. When I say I was their roommate, I was actually their landlord, but we lived together, so it's kind of a weird situation.
How long ago when you last had that house?
I sold it in 2016 or 2015. I can't remember. I think it was 2016 though.
Was it really that long ago?
I know, right? Time flies.
Yeah.
All right. But let's get into the video this week. Let's discuss. First off, how was your week?
It was good. Busy. I got rid of the Chuck Norris mullet.
That's a shame.
I
I thought you were
know,
going for a new look.
Everyone wanted me to keep it.
Yeah.
I just felt like, I couldn't keep it. Oh, and I got my new car.
Okay, before you're getting way off topic. The mullet. It's far more important
Stay
than
on
your car.
topic,
Yeah.
mullet.
Well, did you get rid of the mullet because you couldn't match the beard?
I thought the mustache very much complimented the mullet.
Well, Chuck Norris never had a mustache. He was always about the beard.
Well, I don't want to be exactly like Chuck Norris. There's only one Chuck Norris.
Wait, you don't want to be? Okay, that's fine. I thought you were going to go down a weird path where you wouldn't want to be just like Chuck Norris, but recognizing that there is only one is kind of just as good. All right.
There you go.
All right. So, anyways, we are a growing channel, and by growing, I mean we get one new subscriber every year. So
Hell
please
yeah.
hit the like button and subscribe. We want to be doing this more. We want to put up more content, more comedy, more fun, and hopefully you like our point of views because, I think we're both pretty balanced people. We're both observational, and we're both seekers of truth. So
Yes.
please.
Speaking.
Yes, but speaking of truth, this is a very
Yes.
interesting video. If Christians were 100% honest. Tina, your thoughts? Initial thoughts?
Coming from a Christian background, I'm wondering why they're not already 100% honest.
I don't know. That's actually a good point. Maybe we'll get into that. First off, this is a video from Jubilee's channel. It's part of a series of videos called Mask Off, in which people are given complete anonymity. A certain group of people. There's some different groups. In this one, it's obviously Christians. And they're allowed to basically speak their true opinions without, any backlash. They're not worried about getting canceled. They're not worried about losing their jobs. They're not worried about any of this. They're just going to give you their unfiltered opinions. And so that's basically the idea of, I don't know why most Christians, I'd imagine, would be honest just because that's sort of part of the Christian ethic.
Or
But
try to be honest.
you try to be honest at the very least, right?
This is implying that they're not being 100% honest.
Well, that could be true, yes. It could be true that they have an opinion in private. It's Hillary Clinton one. You got a private opinion and a public opinion. So I have not, neither one of us have seen this video. Neither one of us had to know what's to expect from this video, but we're going to react to it in real time and give you our thoughts and opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you were raised in a Christian household. Do you still consider yourself a Christian?
No.
No? All right. When did you have your sort of come to Jesus moment, except for opposite?
The come out of Jesus moment.
Yeah, you're not coming to Jesus. You're running away from Jesus moment.
I mean, definitely growing up in the church, it wasn't easy leaving. I mean, certainly it was kind of a more just a fading away than a running away.
Okay. So
it started probably in high school, and then mostly because I was just too tired to go to church in the morning.
Okay, yeah.
And
Wait, you stopped becoming Christian because you were too lazy? If there's a God, you're really fucked.
Yes.
You're going to hell because what's your reasoning? Oh, it's just
I was just too I mean
I wanted to sleep
That's
in on
fine.
Sundays.
that's my what do they call the 7 deadly sins? Slothfulness, or
Well, you're not a slothful person. I just think sometimes you, because I know you, you're a very
it
hard
was
worker.
slothfulness that did me in.
Sloth in certain aspects.
No, it was. Yeah, it just kind of stopped going. My friends were increasingly made more and more friends that weren't Christian. And I think it was my sister also leaving too that kind of made me leave. And then when I moved out of home, I kind of got like a little itch, came back a little bit, and then I was kind of just like, it still doesn't feel right. So
I
yeah,
remember that. I remember
yeah,
years back you were like, you went from being just sort of in high school mostly, I would say, I don't want to say normal as if it's wrong to be Christian or it's not normal, but you were just like a person. And then like you went to uber Christian mode for a little bit.
Did I?
I think so.
Did
I
it
think
feel like it was uber Christian?
I don't know what uber Christian would be. Going to church every Sunday, going to Bible study every Wednesday. I don't know.
I think there was just maybe something I missed about it, but then I'd start going to the Mars Hill Church, and for like maybe like 6 months. I also met this. I think it was a way to be closer with my dad too, but just realized it just wasn't for me. So
Right. Does your mom know that you're no longer identify as Christian, or?
I think she knows, but I mean, we don't talk about it.
My brother has that with my mom. My mom is super Christian, and my brother is like devout atheist. So they used to get into arguments. So it's a little different from your case because my brother is more like strictly atheist. Like he's very against the idea of religion. It sounds like you're more just like, it's not for me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to convince my mom not to believe. I
Right,
think if it
exactly.
makes her happy, then go for it. I think
Right.
she's definitely benefiting being in the church more than not.
Right. And my brother was like, we're going to argue this out. But my mom was also probably more on the problem is I think my mom was trying to convince him more than he was trying to convince her, but they ended up getting into arguments all the time, I remember. And then me and my sister trying to play nice and try to change the subject, and like, it's like, how about the turkey? Sure is good. Thanksgiving coming up.
So this is always at Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, like for many years after college, when we all went to college, we only got together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know? That's how
Yeah,
things
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Then
Well,
I guess this is going to be our Thanksgiving episode, or are we saving that for next week?
no, this is our Thanksgiving episode. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. What do you
Hey,
think?
happy Thanksgiving.
What are you thankful for, Marty? Damn it, Tina. God damn it. Bleep.
I'm thankful for my new car.
Thank you. What is it?
RAV4 Hybrid.
Oh, which one?
Toyota RAV4 Hybrid.
Oh, Toyota. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
SUV. Yeah,
Nice.
good gas mileage.
Really? Cool. I mean, that sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
you know me. I drive
expensive,
I drive my little Spark because I can't afford a hybrid, but I also know gas is expensive. So, the Spark, if you don't know what that is, it's the tiniest car that GM makes. Gets pretty good gas mileage, but it's shit.
but as long as the airbags don't deploy on this one, I think everything will be good.
That's true. I mean, I had my airbags deployed and totaled my car. It's so damn stupid. All right.
Just a little nudge.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit off topic. We're not really enjoying it. But let's actually get into the video. So, if Christians were 100% honest. Now, I think that they ask them questions and you can agree or disagree with the statement. So, let's just like set that up. So.
7. What if you could speak your mind without fear of judgment? We brought together 7 strangers, protected their identities, and created a space for them to be completely honest. What will be revealed when they take the mask off?
Boom.
So dramatic.
It is a little
I
bit,
thought it
isn't
was
it?
going to be a bit more like open face, like no mask on.
No. It's like, what if Christians were 100% honest? I told you it's a show called Mask Off. They've given it.
Oh.
Did you think that this was just like, hey, we're
I thought
liars?
it was just like a
normally?
round table, yeah.
No. This is like they give them complete anonymity to speak their mind. That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not going to see anyone's faces, so unfortunately we can't say the guy who looks like Harry Potter I like, or whatever.
I still think it's weird. Like, why would they feel more comfortable with a mask on? I don't see what difference it makes.
What do you think about cancel culture?
I mean, are these famous Christians?
No, but people still lose their jobs just for having the wrong opinions. What if it got out that they had the wrong opinion on this Jubilee channel that has millions of followers? Seriously, yeah, it happens.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
it's not Kanye. It's not famous Christians.
Do we cancel people for being Christians these days?
Well, it depends on the type of Christian. We're gonna find out.
All right. Let's see.
All right. Okay. So I guess these are the questions that they're gonna ask. So we're starting with: is there something wrong about LGBT people?
Okay.
Women who get abortions are murderers. I have had sex outside of marriage. Anyone who isn't Christian is going to hell. Oh, that was a hard one to figure out. Scaring of died. A fear of losing a non-believer, friends and okay. I don't know. So these are the
Any one of
questions.
those you would be most curious about?
I think they're going to be honest. I can pretty much. Okay, this is actually going to be good. Can we guess what they're going to say about each one of them? But my guess.
Or the consensus?
Yeah, let's do a quick rundown, really quick, because we got to get into the
Okay.
video. What's the majority opinion going to be? There's something wrong with LGBTQ people. Agree or disagree?
I think they will say that there's nothing wrong, but they have to still stop sinning and come to God.
I'm going to say they agree because that they're. Actually, that makes more sense. But I'm going to say they agree because I feel like they feel like their life is a sin, so that they should basically do something about it. Women who get abortion are murderers. Agree or disagree? Just to clarify one more time, we're not giving our opinions. We're giving what we think their opinions is going to be.
Yeah.
Women who get abortion are murderers.
I think they will say reluctantly that they are murderers.
I'm going to say they disagree with this one. So far, we're against it. I would say that I think they're going to say that most of the women who get abortions are uneducated. They don't know what they're doing.
Okay, but they're not gonna say that they're killing children.
Well, they think they're killing children, but like it's like murder implies intent, right? You have to be knowing you're killing someone. I think they're going to say that like the majority of women who are getting abortions don't know they're killing a baby.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I've had sex outside of marriage. Agree or disagree?
Depends on if they were born in the church or they came into later.
I'm going to say that the majority are going to disagree with that one. I think that we're going to find out most Christians are good Christians or not. Anyone who isn't Christian is going to hell. I'm going to say agree. Hard agree.
That would probably be the easiest one, yes.
Yeah.
Or for the most part, yes.
Makes sense.
I would be surprised if they disagreed with that one.
Basically, every religion says, like, if you don't follow our religion, you're in the wrong. So.
Yeah.
I'm scared of dying. I'm going to say agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely.
That one seems another easy one. I fear losing. I actually stretched us out. Sorry. That's not what I meant to do. I fear losing my non-believer friends and family. That one's
I think so.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. I think, especially if they converted and their family isn't, then they might feel a little ostracized.
All right. I'm going to say disagree with that one.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see the reasoning.
All right, let's get into it. There is something wrong with LGBT people.
There is something wrong
Guess
with
it.
LGBT people.
Okay, we got 4 votes red, 2 votes blue. Did they explain which one red was which one?
I think agree was red. Go back.
Okay. We should have paid attention more.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, red is
Okay.
agree. Okay, so now we know
Okay.
that. It seems like agree should be blue, right?
Yes, I read. Yeah, it seems
Red is-
like disagree.
We always think red is the negative. It's always
Yeah. No, I don't know.
goddamn
Weird.
Jubilee, get your colors right.
It's brighter.
This is a Christian show. I can't say goddamn anymore.
I'm gonna say
So 5 people agree there's something wrong with LGBT people. 2 disagree.
Okay,
Okay, let's hear them.
it's kind of what we thought.
Yeah. Ah, shit. I know. Once again, I gotta watch my language. This is a good Christian channel.
Of course.
But I gotta refill my drink, which is
yes,
water. Water.
yes, just water.
Just water. So take a quick break. Be right back. All right, and I'm back. By the way, do you think it's kind of funny that like Christian priests can drink, but they can't have sex, and then Muslim priests can have sex, but they can't drink?
And Muslim priests can't take
imams.
wives.
Imams.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
priests, but
Imam, yeah.
yeah. You think it's kind of funny? It's kind of the inverse. It's okay, wait.
It's just Catholics, right? The Christian priest can take wives.
You're right. That's right. I should say that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a good meme about that. But like because like Islam and Christians believe in the same God, but like he told one that you can have wives, but you can't have alcohol, and he told the other ones you can have alcohol, but you can't have wives, and they believe in the same God. So is God just fucking with people? Like it seems. It's just to me.
Yeah, I know. Is he trolling?
He's trolling. Yeah. What did Jewish? Do rabbis get married? Rabbis can get married. I think.
I don't believe rabbis believe in, or Jewish people believe in hell.
No, they don't
either.
believe in hell. They believe in
Yeah.
something called Shoah or whatever. Like it's like basically just purgatory forever.
I don't know if they can take wives or not. That's a good question.
All right. Here we go. So once again, the majority opinion is agree. There's something wrong with them.
A strong no. Yes, I believe that homosexuality is a sin, but saying that like LGBTQ plus whatever,
What's the point of the plus?
In case we come up with anything else.
I thought that was the point of the Q. No,
Queer.
seriously. I thought the whole
I
point.
think queer was so that they can own the term queer, because it used to be a derogatory term, and
Right.
now it's not.
I remember in high school where we always call each other queers.
Or when you played, Smear the Queer in elementary school.
I remember that. Yeah. Fun days, fun times. God, the times have changed, haven't they? Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe we used to just do that 20 years ago? Or
That was just normal.
25?
Yeah, absolutely. But like, I thought the whole idea of queer was like it's everything that's not simple in the LGBT spectrum. Then the plus kind of throws me off as saying like, okay, the Q doesn't cover that those people.
Maybe it's supposed to include letters like S for straight people, so that we're all inclusive.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not trying to make fun of it.
Okay, straight people are not included in the LGBT community. It's like literally the only group of people who are
Wouldn't
not
that come
included.
full circle though?
No. I guess, but that just says like, okay, you know what? If you want to say we're all the same, then yeah, you're right. That would be. But then you're no longer really
What are you representing?
You're not really defining the community at that point. You're saying everyone. Okay, fuck it. You know what? Right, you're right. The plus means straight people. So there's something wrong with the LGBT plus everyone else people. God. All right. Anyways.
people, there's something wrong with them as people, as human beings. That's a harsh statement. So it's a hard topic.
This is a really
It doesn't seem like she gave a really strong position anyway.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to give a loving position, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So there's.
sensitive topic because I know that a lot of LGBTQ people have been hurt by the church. They've been hurt by Christians. I personally have family members who identify as they, who are homosexual. While God hates sin, he loves the people, and he loves the homosexual, and he loves the transgender, because he died for them. But the problem that I do see with LGBTQ people is that the lifestyle, it does take away a lot of things. They're depressed, they're lonely all the time, and that's not the life that God called for you. When you
He keeps going.
receive Christ, the Spirit of God can deliver you from homosexuality.
Okay, so we got his position. I think his position is a position of love too. It's just he thinks that you can pray away the gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think has been proven not to work.
Well, that doesn't matter to him.
No.
You're not going to be like, yeah. You're not going to say like, okay. What would you be able to tell this person to get him to change his mind on this? If he thinks so, if he tells you, okay, I'm going to role play as Dimitri because they gave him the most fucking Russian name, so fuck it. Go Moldova. Yeah, I'm giving one of the weird perspectives on the war. Go Moldova.
Sure.
So pretending I'm Dimitri, and I come to you and I say, God does make people gay, but if you pray hard enough, you can reject it from your life? What would you say?
I would have to say, having known gay people, and having grew up in the church with people that, were supposedly gay and trying to find Christ, that it doesn't seem to work.
It doesn't seem to work because they're not trying hard enough, Tina.
Of course,
Yeah.
As long as you're asking for forgiveness every day.
No. It's not about forgiveness. Well, yes, it is. But I give up. All right.
Okay.
I've seen it happen. People who identify as bisexual or homosexual, and God delivers them, and they no longer choose to identify that way.
One thing,
I kind of cut off his answer a little short, but basically I have nothing more to add.
the Lord says that if you have sinned
All right, we got back to one of the
against
disagrees.
one law, you have broken all the laws. And so every single human being is wrong. Like, if you ask that question, homosexual is wrong, well, sure. But are they a different type of wrong? No, they're not a different type of wrong. They are the same wrong as I am.
I think I agree with that guy. Like, from what I remember, is like, I mean, we're all sinners, right? That's like, like the whole point.
He who cast the
First stone.
however
Yeah,
that-
exactly. Very famous verse from the Bible. Yeah, we're all sinners. So is one sin worse than the other? No, not really. You're all breaking the rules. But that doesn't matter in the end as long as you have a commitment of faith.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Jesus will forgive all. And the Catholic priest will, as long as you whisper him in his, whisper softly in his ear all the bad things you've done with your girlfriend, then yeah, he'll definitely forgive you.
Of course.
Let's drink some wine.
And then drink some wine.
Yes, exactly. No, I'm just.
I feel like we tend to magnify the LGBTQ community. For example, I come from a Hispanic household and sexual abuse is brushed under the rug so many times straight. But you choose
Jesus.
to magnify, let's say, my gay cousin over my molester uncle.
What? Wait. What did she say? Sorry, I gotta.
Choose to magnify
Let's say my gay
cousin.
cousin
You choose to magnify.
over my molester uncle. You know what I mean? There's something wrong with both.
I think
I understand that, but-
something more wrong with. I
Right,
see
but
where she's coming from.
Yeah. They're saying it's still wrong.
Mhm.
I see what she's saying. I do. It's not.
In my eyes, there's something more wrong with the molester by far.
Oh, for sure.
Actually, there's nothing wrong with the gay cousin.
Okay, for sure. But I see what she's coming at. Like, but it's kind of like, it's funny enough. Like the last guy we just heard talk, we're all sinners. She's basically saying the same thing. It's like we're all sinners, except that means that there's something wrong, right?
Yeah,
Because she mentioned her
just-
molester uncle and her gay cousin, and the other guys just said basically, yeah, okay, there are gay people who are committing sin, and then there are people out there who are like, shoplifting or
lies.
what, or telling little white
Tell-
lies about it. Who are like, yeah. Shoplifting is, I guess, a little more harmful, but yeah, telling little white lies, that's a sin. So it's like, yeah. The funny thing about those two people, they have the exact same opinion, but they disagree with disagree.
It's true. It's like she seems to think that they can't seem to be forgiven.
Well, she didn't say that. She just said there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Not
But
that
she's
like,
saying there's something right with her. I guess she's a Christian, so.
no, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
You come to Jesus enough, right? Well, it's like saying to you, like if you're a kleptomaniac, there's something wrong with you. But that doesn't mean you're incapable of getting better.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's sort of this. I think her position is like you're gay, but that doesn't mean that you're incapable of getting better.
Sure.
And you may be a molesting uncle. That doesn't mean you're incapable of stopping molesting your nephews and nieces.
Okay. That's kind of what she's saying.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I say castrate all pedophiles.
I'm wondering.
That's like a hard line.
if. Yes, very.
What?
Nothing. No.
You want to go on this?
I'm
We'll
wondering,
go.
like these two over here, are they gonna keep disagreeing with a lot of these other statements? Are they part of I think Episcopal Christians? They're accepting of gay people within the church.
Do you believe in cutting the dicks off of pedophiles?
No.
Okay.
Would it stop then? Maybe.
I'm not gonna let you weasel out of
Probably.
that.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, like, we have prosthetics these days. Weird thing to do.
Castration.
Well, that too, but putting on a prosthetic.
I would
too.
hope maybe if they
Like, would like a
if they
pedophile put a
felt like they
strap
were
on
never
in order?
saw-
Okay, this is a really dark moment, and maybe we shouldn't even go down this path. But would a pedophile put a strap on in order to molest a child?
Jesus, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Well,
well,
don't answer that. You know
That
what? In fact, this is
proves
a
how-
terrible fucking line of questioning. This is terrible.
I would prove. I mean,
This is
I don't
fucking
know.
awful.
are there lesbian pedophiles?
I'm sure there
Women
are,
that
but
would?
that seems like it just seems like a very bizarre thing to do. I don't know. No, I don't know.
I've never heard of it, but
I don't think it's
sure
ever
it's out
happened,
there.
but it's just, yeah, that's horrible.
my mind, when you say strap on, my mind goes to that for some reason.
The lesbians?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. I wouldn't. I think it would be just as awful as.
I think that's the most horrible thing anyone said on the internet.
No, I'm sure they said more horrible stuff.
Oh, that makes me feel a little better. All right. Jesus Christ. There's some things you don't joke about. Strap-ons on
this
pet-
topic.
Yeah, this whole conversation. Yeah. All right.
Question is then why do we magnify the sin of homosexuality? It's because no one goes around saying murdering's okay, that theft is okay. But there are people going around saying, well, love is love and homosexuality is just love, and they're trying to justify it. And so the church has to do some sort of defense, and that's why this sin gets more attention than the others.
Yeah.
And so they can escape their shame not by marching down a street shouting pride, embrace who you are, look within. They can escape their shame by casting it on Christ and receiving his forgiveness.
Amen.
I understand everyone's perspective in that round, funny enough.
But there are people going around justifying murder.
Who?
When we commit the death sentence.
Oh, that's not exactly murder, but I agree with you, actually. I'm against the death sentence, too, but it's not the same thing as murder.
Is it not in the eyes of God?
In the eyes of God, it is, but we're not. We're a secular country. We have separation of church and state, right? So it's
Yeah.
just a deterrence. And I'm not for the death penalty. I'm against it. But at the same time, I don't think it's the same thing.
Sure. And when we go to war too, like that's also.
That's not murder. Well, it is murder again, yeah. That's funny enough. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
So
But do you think that there's some? Do you think like okay? Well, this is kind of funny. You bring this up because I had an argument with a pacifist for like an hour before this podcast.
Okay,
And-
get warmed up.
yeah, well, I mean, like I wasn't planning on the conversation, but it was a good
Sure.
one. Are there not justifiable uses of violence?
I mean, yes, and for Christians.
Well, I mean, let's just say like just
Okay. Let's
in
without
general
that.
as your point of view, and then as a Christian,
Okay. Are there justifiable means of violence?
justifiable, yeah.
Self-defense would be one.
Right. Okay. So war in the minds now. You and I can talk all day about how war is not about defense and it's about economic reasons or territorial reasons or whatever. But the point is, the argument sold to the people is always defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
we
Russia
need
is
to-
Russia is
We need to get
literally
rid of the Nazis in Ukraine.
exactly. Russia is literally telling the people like there are Nazis in Ukraine and Ukraine is joining NATO and they're going to attack Russia, so we have to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally the argument. Every war is from the defensive position, except for World War II, where Hitler literally said that he wanted to create a great empire for Germany. So it's a little different. So I guess not all wars are defensive, but all right. Sorry about that, everyone. We got cut off mid-sentence. What were we talking about? We were on the middle of you were in the middle of making a point, and I think it cut you off.
Yeah. Something about war. I
Oh
can't remember
yeah, war.
exactly.
Yeah, we were talking about Hitler and
Oh,
strap-on pedophiles.
I yes, I think yeah, just modern wars are the only ones that claim self-defense and justifying.
No, I think that's the majority of wars. You go back in history, most of them were made in the sort of realm of like defense.
Crusades were to defend the Holy Land.
Sure, exactly. Well, I mean, there's certainly like let me think about this.
Genghis Khan, I'm not quite sure there.
Not quite sure about that either. But let's say like post, definitely 1900 at the very least. Most wars are made in the name of defense. The 1800s, I'm speculative about. I don't think those have many wars. Napoleonic wars are not defensive, nor is the Civil War even.
I think once we stopped colonizing, then all the bit of land in the world kind of got taken up.
That could be it. Yeah. But exactly, there's a lot of but like yeah, in modern day, the argument always has to be defensive.
Mm-hmm.
The argument is defensive, not the actual
not the
reason.
actual reason.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm
There's
not
the
even
public opinion and the private opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even saying there's probably not an element of defense to it. But it's not the. Here's the weird part. Now we're going to talk about like what's Putin's main motivation for this war. I think he has a reason to be defensive. I don't think that it means that he's genuine about it either. It's tough to kind of peg what his reasoning is. Like I can honestly I could hear the opinion that like in Putin's mind this is a defensive war because NATO is expansionary and the West has a long history now of meddling in autocratic states. So in his mind, not Russia's mind, not like Russia, but in his mind, he's a threat to the West. So he's in defense.
And the big irony, it's pushing Ukraine even more towards joining the EU and NATO. Not that they weren't already kind of exploring it, but...
Right. Yeah, I mean, I recently listened to a debate on this whole conflict. What was it, like a few days ago? I wish I could cite it as well as some of the people in this like conversation because they knew their stuff. I don't know my stuff about this sort of conflict because, honestly, this is going to sound callous, but I don't care too much about Ukraine. I care about ending nuclear war.
Okay.
So I'm a purely pragmatic person.
Were you really nervous when you heard about that missile that landed in Poland?
No, I wasn't because it sounded like first off, I get 90% of my news from memes and everyone makes jokes about everything. So
and they were already joking about it.
They fucking always are joking about things. Like the end of the world could be coming and people are going to be making memes about it. It's going to be hilarious. I'm honest to God, 90%.
We'll go out in a laugh.
I'm always motivated by what's the funniest thing. Like I voted for Kanye not because I think he'd be a good leader, but because he'd be funny.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, anyways, let's get moving. So.
Okay.
I'm so fat. Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt. Look at Nate. He's true class.
All right. Fuck ads. All right. So, women who this one's gonna be the most interesting one to me. If we don't get to any of the other ones, I think this is the most interesting one. Women who get abortions are murderers.
Women who get abortions are murderers.
All right. Hold on. What did we say? I say disagree.
I said agree. You said...
I said disagree because I think the logic is going to be they don't know what they're doing. And you said agree because...
I think they're going to take I think most Christians have a pretty hard stance on abortion.
Right, but I think they're going to say the abortion doctors are the murderers, and that and that the women just don't know any better.
That's why they're trying to shoot the clinics that were doing it, not the women that were having abortions.
Sure. All right. I was all wrong. You were right. Okay.
Were you trying to play devil's advocate, or did you think?
I genuinely thought they were going to say that women don't know any better, but I guess they really do believe that women are murderers if they have abortions. All right, let's hear them out.
Some are more bright red. Does that mean?
I think that's just the lighting. Okay, it's not like I agree more so. No.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
It is God who gives and takes away life. Man or woman has no place taking a life that they didn't breathe into. There is no going around that one, I think, for Christians. You kill a baby, that makes you a murderer.
Okay, you know what? I'm really going to argue you're right. I didn't intend this to be a devil's advocate thing, but I'm going to make it one.
Okay.
I think that as a Christian, you can say that women who get abortions are not murderers because murder implies intent. And you can accidentally kill someone without it being a murder. We specifically define murder as in, like, you knew what you were doing was wrong. It was premeditated. And I honestly thought that the answer was going to be, I swear to God, I honestly thought the answer was going to be the majority of women don't know what they're doing. They've been propagandized or brainwashed into thinking that they're basically just flushing a toilet and that abortion is actually murder if they understood it. I was wrong. But I'm going to make that argument.
Okay, I mean, I think that's a great argument from a Christian perspective.
Sure.
I was thinking maybe if the woman never decided to get an abortion, that there's the intent all along. Like, it's her decision, so therefore there is some intent.
Well, there's intent to get, but like, that's my point. Is that if you don't think of what is in your body as a baby, then you're going to say it's not murder because it's not a human. It's just this thing I need to deal with. It's like, okay, so like, you ever see Louis C.K.? Like, he has this whole bit about abortion. Abortion is either killing a baby or taking a shit. There's nothing in between. It's one of those two things. So
sometimes I just have to take a really massive shit.
Sure, but I think Louis C.K.'s point is true. It's like, it's either one of those things, and it can't be anything in between. It's either taking a shit or killing a baby. So I thought the argument was going to be that, like, too many women think of it as taking a shit. It's just an inconvenient, like, fact of life. Ah, shit. Got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Haven't gone in,
Yeah. So
months.
I'm just curious to hear more about what they say, but it sounds like it's going to be all in unison. They're all going to say the same thing, but.
Yeah, I mean, we can skip ahead if you want.
Okay, well, let's hear out at least one more person before we skip.
Yeah.
This topic, sorry, gets me emotional because I've just seen people go through that, and sorry.
Well, let's hear one person who can actually keep it together.
And they feel
that seems mean, but like, I'm gonna skip you, Cabal. Sorry, my husband.
My husband. So
I'm sorry, Cabal. I'm skipping you. Just like you have nothing to offer other than tears.
Good experience. Maybe you were raped. Maybe you were a victim to something abusive. Maybe it wasn't planned. But let me tell you something, God, he's never early, never late. He's always on time. And the fact that you were given this gift of life.
Is it wrong that I know this is a black woman?
No, that's Cash Q.
It's not even the name, it's the hand gesture is like no one talks like this. Except
I would go off of the haircut, maybe, and you can kind of see a darker pigment.
I'm just based on the hand gestures alone. It feels a little bit racist, but I just 99% sure this is a black woman.
And if you can't handle it or you can't take care of it, there are options.
Well, I'm just wondering then, what would you think of people who like stand outside of like abortion places and try to stop people?
It makes me so upset, like the people who just protest and try to shove and judge and condemn others. That is not love. That is not God. That is not how he would handle people.
Okay, that's an interesting point of view. So abortion is murder, but the people who are protesting abortion clinics are still not good Christians.
Okay. Yeah, it's like they're...
Well, there's the ultimate view in Christianity that is like, man is not one to judge, only God can judge.
Sure.
Right. So I think that's the point of view she's going with, is like even if you think they're murderers, you going out there and like condemning them, it's not your job to condemn them. God will condemn them.
Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is God's.
That's a little different. But
a little bit.
That's more about like separation of church and state stuff. But the idea that like God will condemn. You don't need to go out there judging everyone. God is the ultimate judgment. But
give to the United States the Adrenochrome, and then give to God, your soul.
You want to talk about that?
No, I don't want to talk about
We can get into that.
it.
Fucking baby blood. I forgot to turn the light off outside. All right. All right. keep
Jesus
going.
is very gentle, and he would not make them feel like they cannot come to the Father because they are in shame or not worthy.
I do want to address, I think there's a misunderstanding about what people do who stand out in front of abortion clinics.
Calvin.
What they're doing is not abusing them, they're not attacking them, they're letting them know that there's options, telling them about crisis pregnancy centers, offering to adopt their children, explaining them what an abortion really is. They're doing really important work.
You had something to
Maybe
say?
nowadays, but back in like the 80s, they would have people would gun down like abortion clinics.
How many?
I don't know. It did happen a couple times.
Okay. I'm wondering. Because crisis pregnancy centers are getting blown up right now. I'm serious. Like, I mean, they are being
I
set.
haven't seen anyone protesting, but I'm in the very.
Oh yeah, they've been set. I will send you a link after this podcast. But like, yeah, they've been like getting set on fire lately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like, according to these people, a good Christian thing to do.
Well, no. Well, the crisis pregnancy center is the opposite of an abortion clinic. So this would be like sort of like pro-abortion people burning down.
Okay,
so the crisis
pro-life clinic.
Exactly. So the crisis pregnancy centers are places where like women are brought in to educate them and to try to get them to choose adoption or motherhood and not abortion.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what they are. But they've been like getting burned down lately. But I don't know if you knew that.
No, I hadn't heard anything about that, no.
Okay, I'll send you a link when this is all done. All right.
And if we all believe that abortion is murder, and we all just said that we do, well then what it is mass murder. It's genocide in the United States. It's worse than the Holocaust.
Yeah. You know what? Like
That's a little bit drastic.
It's not no, hold on. It's not drastic if you. Okay, here's the weird part. Arguing from a Christian perspective, it's not a drastic statement. I mean, you and I can disagree with it, but like, if you really thought like millions of babies were getting killed every year, is it really
I
hard?
see where they're coming from. I'm just giving my own personal opinion.
Obviously, every comparison to the Holocaust always gets brought with huge speculation because the Holocaust is a very unique chapter of history. So to compare anything to the Holocaust is always going to get brought with skepticism. But yes, from a Christian perspective, yes, if you thought millions of babies were being killed, then yeah, of course you'd think that was worse than the Holocaust. It sounds bad.
Yeah.
it does. All right.
And so I wouldn't want to throw stones at someone who's out in front of the concentration camp saying, "Don't murder Jews."
Yeah, the Nazis wouldn't allow that.
Of course.
Fucking good Germans.
Go join them.
Well, the Germans are such a robotic people that they probably just go along with it, and they did. Ha! Fucking let that sink in, Germans.
Never forget.
I don't mean mean. What? No, seriously, the Germans are a very programmable people. They're very, very, like, orderly. They have to do what the leader tells them.
I think it was overhearing my roommates talk about, like, different governments either this morning or last night. And because one of my roommates had a degree in French politics, of all things. Don't know why. Still yet to ask him about that.
Okay.
But he said, as far as like efficient, open governments, they said Germany had like one of the best, and I can't remember the reasoning, but that's what he said.
All right. All I know is like from the Top Gear guys, they did a special in Germany, and I remember this joke hilariously. Like, they brought up the joke of like driving without a license or driving over the speed limit. I can't remember the whole setup for the joke, unfortunately, but it was like those were the two things: driving without a license, driving over the speed limit. And the German population was like, "Wait, what? Why? How can you do that? You can't do that.
You can't drive over the speed limit.
You can't drive over the speed limit. You can't drive without a license." It's like that can't happen. But it's
well,
not.
They don't have the Autobahn, so there is no speed limit.
Well, that's true, but like, but the joke was simply like, it's not that it shouldn't happen; it's that it can't happen. That was the main joke. That's what I mean by
People
Germans are
don't-
very
People don't
orderly.
do that.
Well, yeah, because that's why the whole joke about Germans are very orderly people. It's like everything is like so well. Like I mean, it's sad to say, but the Nazis were really good at documentation. It's like we don't know how many people the Soviet Union killed because they basically just like said like fuck it. But the Germans, we know exactly how many people they killed because they documented everything they did.
Yes. The Germans are very efficient, note-taking, and
in the worst possible way.
yes,
Yeah, sure.
when used for bad things.
Sometimes, yes.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna. If you're a German and you're watching this, please do not take this the wrong way. I watched the Munich game. I loved when you broke out into West country roads. That was a great moment. You watched that
Were there
game?
more Seahawks fans? Did you actually watch the game?
Yeah, of course you didn't.
No.
Oh.
Like 6:30 in the morning. I'm not awake.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I watched the game, and there was probably more Seahawks fans, I would say.
Okay, that's
There
what
was-
I thought.
I think it's,
Tampa Bay, it's kind of it's a smaller market.
I don't think it is-
People in
well-
Florida like college football more.
I don't even think it's about the markets. I think it's here's what I really think because I know a lot of Seahawks fans. Our friend Jose, who I want to bring back on the podcast, is a Seahawks fan. I think Seattle was big when the NFL went really international.
Okay.
So like around the early 2010s, that's when I think the NFL really made it big to try to promote overseas. And that's the reason why I think there's more Seahawks fans overseas than there are a lot of other teams.
Okay, that's some sound reasoning.
Yeah. That's good
I think
for us.
maybe Seattle's just more of an international city too over Tampa Bay.
For sure, it's probably more of an international city, but I really think it's more just the fact that we were really, really good when they started broadcasting in other countries.
Okay.
That's what my main thought is.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah. Little column C. Germans are just prone to worshiping like hawks.
And that is their national symbol, the hawk.
That's right. It is. You ever watch Inglourious Bastards?
It's been a while, but yeah, that's a great movie.
Ah, it's a great movie. But like, you remember the scene where like Hans Landa is talking to the Frenchman. He's saying like, it's like a Jew is like a rat, and the German is like a hawk. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's a good scene. It's a really good scene. One of the most like tense scenes I've ever seen in film history.
That's
like
why he
his,
won an Oscar.
He was good. He was really good. I wonder what he's done since then. I haven't seen him in anything.
I've seen him in some things. He still kind of plays that kind of character actor.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep going.
I would want to go alongside that person and applaud that person for being courageous. And I think that's really important work that all Christians should support to help try to fight abortion in this country.
All right, we're on to the next
I
one.
have had sex outside of marriage.
How many good Christians we got versus how many dishonest ones? Okay, we'll get back into the podcast, but first off, I cut this part out. But Tina, how did you know that was a gay commercial?
See, I don't subscribe to the premium YouTube, so I've seen that ad many times.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know that commercial, and just like the first thing, before she even said, I think I might be gay, you just said, that's the gay commercial. And I'm like, what the fuck? That really just caught me off guard because we played it, and then like she said it, and I'm like, how the fuck did you know that?
Have you not seen that before?
No, not once.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I mean, I was gonna say maybe you get that often because it's targeted towards you, but maybe I don't know.
Wait, am I gay? Tina, do you know something I don't?
They say that maybe they say you need therapy.
Fuck. Maybe I'm gay. If I was gay, I'm the straightest gay guy there ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like dicks on my women.
As long as my dick's bigger than theirs.
Yeah, that statement doesn't even make any sense. What do I mean? Like I just said that because
As long
I'm
as
a
I'm
little
secure
tipsy.
about my penis size compared to theirs.
God damn it! Yeah, there was that guy on like America's Got Talent, like who said like I couldn't be with her because her dick was bigger than mine or something like that. He's a musician. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but it's funny.
Do you watch America or Britain's Got Talent at all? Any of those shows?
Not since like 2000.
Well, they're fun. They're fun. Wait.
Hey, very
Only
so they-
two of them
they-
have had sex outside of
Oh.
marriage. Okay, so 5 of them are virgins. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
if they were 100% honest.
Yeah, we're all 100% honest. I'm so sorry. Other apologies.
I'm the right leg now.
Oh.
Everyone was doing it. We're on many cycles with that. Like, I've had an orgy with females.
God damn.
Round Springer going on.
Like,
there.
shit, fucking hell. That's not like just like an accidental discretion or like you guys couldn't wait till the marriage. You're fucking having an orgy with
Female orgies.
Yeah.
One person you can just hit up anytime you want to, and they're available. You know, at some point you have to stop avoiding a sin because God hates not sinners but the sin because it comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Ah, right. That's a fine justification for someone who said gays are wrong. Wait, did she say gays were wrong? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I
I don't think so.
Yeah, this guy's the only good Christian there.
I'm married, and my husband abstained till marriage, and he has had to deal with the repercussions of my sin in the past.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wasn't saved until I was 20, and before that time.
Okay, so we got born again Christians, people who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo? Did you say boo?
No, I didn't say boo. I didn't say boo. I mean, I'm not against born again Christians.
Boo.
No. But like, he had sex before he came to Christianity. So.
Sex outside of marriage, and even when I was first becoming Christian, I would hear people say, "Oh, you can't have sex outside of marriage," and I said, "Okay, well, I'll do everything else, but I won't do that one thing because that's a really hard thing to give up."
God loves it in the butt.
Actually, I think in most religions he doesn't.
Well, if it preserves your virginity, then he does like it in the butt.
Loophole.
Yeah. I never heard that before. That's good.
That's a very Catholic one.
Oh, really? Okay, great.
You know, when you have sex.
Wait, you weren't Catholic, were you?
No, my mom's side was very Catholic.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think it kind of applies to Mormons too.
Okay. My wife was kind of like semi-raised Catholic, I think.
Okay.
It seems that way.
Like in traditions, maybe. And
well, I think the
all
majority
that.
of her family is Catholic, but her grandmother, who really raised her, was Christian. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
But she never heard that before.
We never discussed that, but now I'm going to go to her and ask. But no, not.
Somebody, it's really hard to move on from that. You start feeling all types of things with yourself, and it's just remembering that God doesn't say this to be mean or to be a dictator, but to protect you.
Yeah, if I can add to that, to be completely honest with you, I'm scared of sex.
Why? Did she?
I had a very traumatic experience when I was younger where I've had family members intend to take advantage of me.
Why? This is the second time in
Why
this
does this
podcast.
happen so
Why
much?
the fuck? You said something like, "Is this normal?"
I don't know. I mean, I
There-
only know of one person, I think, that was molested by a family member. Not in the church, just overall, in all the people that I know.
There are
I
some.
only know of one.
The crazy thing here is that there are some estimates that say that pedophilia is more common than homosexuality. And like
Even in the family?
I don't know about the family, but the prevalence rate of homosexuality, I think is like 4 or 5% in the population. But I think there are some estimates to say that pedophilia might be as high as 10%.
Are we going like strict pedophilia or just like younger than 18?
I think younger than like 16.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure about that though, so don't quote me on that.
Are we making gray lines here?
Well, you ever seen that comedian who tried to describe the difference between all the different types of like attractions?
No.
It's a fucking hilarious video, and if I find it, I'll send you that too. But his overall punchline was along the lines like, but I can't tell that to anyone because trying to explain the differences between these kinds of philias makes you sound like a pedophile.
Oh yeah, there is something like those people that are like super serious about like, oh, I gotta get rid of all the pedophiles in the area and all that, and
well,
just like how all those Republicans that are against, gay marriage and all that, a lot of them tend to come out as gay or something
Right.
like that.
Right. But it was more along the lines of like saying like, okay, so someone who's attracted to like a 13-year-old,
Okay.
that's not technically pedophilia. Not technically. But if you were to try to explain the difference between that and pedophilia, it makes you sound like a pedophile.
Yes. Okay.
That was the punchline. It was like, it's like,
Okay.
no, I'm not a pedophile. I'm a hectophile, or whatever that is. I don't know the actual term, but that was the whole joke. It's like, because I'm only attracted to like early puberty, sort of.
Yeah. 13's a teen year. I'm into teens.
It's close enough. No. Fucking hell. All right.
But no, it surprises me how much.
Isn't the second one? There's only like 7 people there or whatever. 2 of them now talked about like pedophilic
having
encounters.
members,
Yeah, molesters. Yeah.
Traumatic experience. I just have had that fear to be enclosed with just one man in a room.
Even though I have not lost my virginity, pornography has been something that has been rampant in my life. And that sexual sin as well is truly, in my spiritual experience, has been almost equal. Going wrong against God, going wrong against self, that brings so much shame, so much guilt. But when the forgiveness comes, we see the true glory of God, because we see how broken we were and how reformed we are through Christ.
Yeah, I think pornography is a real problem in our society.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
definitely a problem I like.
Okay, sure.
Pornography, the cause and solution to all of men's problems.
That's Simpsons and it's beer.
I know. I was
All right.
praising it.
Okay, but no, I think actually we got a serious pornography problem in society. Yeah. But that's a subject for another podcast. It's a longer discussion because, yeah, I feel like pornography, it prevents men from. I think there's a lot of young men who have like a serious pornography addiction, and it prevents them from getting healthy, real relationships with people because they're dependent on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
like in the old.
the access the kids have to pornography these days is a lot easier than
Fuck yeah.
when you have to get creative like we had to do in the old days.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. It's like you can just access it just by searching it online, and you can't like everyone has a phone
On your
them.
phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to at least hide it, from my mom and dad, when I was on my computer in the other room.
Same. We only had one computer in my house too, so you had to basically do it when everyone was out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
You had to
it's not
time it.
exactly. But I think gambling's the same way though. I think gambling and porn are like real problems going forward
What's
because
a
there's so
bigger
much.
problem?
That's a tough one. I would probably say pornography, but I don't. I think like the laws about online gambling loosened up around 2018, so that's really new. So
Okay.
I don't know 100% yet. So
Sure.
it could end up being gambling, but right now, off the top of my head, I'd say pornography is a bigger problem.
I heard that gambling is one of the worst addictions.
Right, but I feel like more people are going to be addicted to porn.
I think I heard the gambling addiction leads to death more often than not.
Right.
I forget exactly what the reasoning was.
Right. So I'd probably agree with you that the gambling addiction is probably a more severe addiction, but I'd probably say the rate at which people can get addicted to porn is probably higher.
Okay.
That's probably the difference. It's about quantity versus quality.
Is it just for men?
Yes.
Is it just a men's problem though? I mean, is
Oh,
it a
totally.
problem for women too?
No, I don't think women are addicted to porn, but can women be addicted to gambling? I don't think so, because I think men are by nature more risk takers. So I think
Sure.
I think that like you're gonna see 5 years in the near future, you're gonna see a big mainstream topic: gambling addiction in young men. We already know about.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to other podcasts, and there's a lot of talk about the gambling going on Twitch. Where there's a lot of young viewers.
Yeah, I don't actually watch much Twitch, but I know it's a gaming channel, not a gaming channel, gaming site. But yeah,
They
I think
recently banned gambling streams on Twitch.
so. Yeah, I think there's going to be like tougher regulations going in the future, but I don't know if it's going to respond fast enough. I think like we're going to see a major blow up of the problem before there's anything done about it.
Sure. I mean,
That's probably how it goes. That's my guess.
yeah. I'll wait and see here, I guess.
All right.
Anyone who isn't Christian is going to hell.
This has to be.
This
a hard
one's
agree.
easy. This is what we agreed on, right? It's going to be agreed.
I would be surprised if.
Boom! Whoa!
Whoa! This is kind of.
That's surprising. There was.
64. I
Wow.
want to hear their reasoning.
They're more agreed on abortion than they are about hell.
Isn't that nuts?
That is nuts.
This one's pretty
This
easy
is
one.
like fundamental part of Christianity.
Right. It's only through Jesus that you're saved, right?
John 14:6, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except
Okay, this
through
guy doesn't
me.
interest me because
If
he's
we're
basically
Christians,
Norm.
when we say we believe in
Yeah,
the Bible,
It's a
Let's
tough
get
the
sentence to
And he
answer.
agrees too.
It's tough.
Let's
but
get the
with
opinion
that
of one of the
being said,
disagrees.
what
He uses the word Christian now, right?
Okay, well, hold on, I'm going to go back.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I said no because everybody uses the word Christian now, right? I believe there's Christians who aren't going to go to heaven.
What about people?
That's not the topic. Literally, like they got the phrase right here on our screen. Anyone who isn't Christian is going to hell, and she talks about like Christians are going to go to hell too.
I think she was saying you got the word Christian wrong or the definition wrong.
No. The first off, this doesn't give a definition. She said not all Christians are going to go to heaven. That's what she said. Literally, that's what she said.
True.
Yeah.
If I were to take my old Christian perspective, yes.
Really? Okay. My opinion was that
so,
basically Jesus will forgive all.
You can be a Christian and still, or identify as a Christian and still not be, saved.
I think there's a lot of people out there who, unfortunately, merely identify as Christian, but they don't actually live any Christian principles. They just sort of, like, there's a couple people I follow online. Do you know a guy named Sneeko?
I heard that name.
Yeah, he's really popular in the red pill community. He's like one of these young, he's like a younger Andrew Tate kind of example.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And he says he's Christian, but he also at the same time says, I want to get as many women as I can get. And the funny thing about Tate I found out is he converted to Islam.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's genuine or not, but
believe him?
I don't know. I don't know enough
Sure.
about Tate. I mean, it's funny. Like, I know he's really popular nowadays, but I don't know anything about the guy really. In fact, I only watched him for the first time like recently when you rejected a podcast about him, and then I told a friend saying like we were gonna do a podcast on Tate, and he said, and your friend didn't want to do Tate, and then we watched the Piers Morgan interview. So, anyways.
Yeah, it's just it's out of the what the media is talking about right now. A little too far removed.
Is it? I mean,
Yeah,
he's still like
'cause
the most
these
topical person.
I went through that wave. I heard everything about him. It doesn't seem like any of the media companies are gonna bring him back on.
Maybe not. But anyways, yeah. So Sneeko was like he's like the younger like replacement for Tate because Tate's pretty much banned from everything. And he said he's like a Christian, but at the same time, like his whole like image and his whole persona is you got to get as many women as you can get, kind of thing. So it doesn't seem very Christian, but he says he's Christian, and that kind of brings up the whole idea of like, is everyone who says they're Christian really Christian because they're not doing anything? They like, oh, I'm Christian. Meanwhile, hookers and blow, man.
God forgives.
God forgives. As I talked to a friend of mine who's really uber Christian all the time, and he's like, God will forgive, but you got to show him an effort that you want to change. You can't just
fundamental idea.
Yeah, you can't just keep doing it. So like say like, oh yeah, he has to forgive me. Loophole.
Sorry, I asked for forgiveness.
Right.
He's got to do it. He's got to comply.
Yeah, I own him. I own God.
No. Sorry, God.
So that's the idea, right?
People who subscribe to say Judaism or Islam.
It goes back to the Bible. It says that to go to heaven, you have to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord. And there's a lot of people who don't identify as Christians who believe that.
What?
Wait,
what'd you say?
I wasn't listening. What?
Yeah, sorry. This is actually one of the interesting people, and one of the people who disagree.
Subscribe to say Judaism or Islam.
Okay, it's interesting because Islam, I know, they believe in Jesus as a prophet, just not the... Actually, I think that Islam actually believes that he's the Messiah. They just don't believe he's the last prophet.
Okay, sure.
There might be
Really?
schools of Islam that actually think Jesus is the Messiah. Judaism think of Jesus as another prophet, but not the Messiah.
A distraction.
Not a distraction. I think they actually agree that Jesus was a good and wise man who helped promulgate the word of God. But I think that they think he's sacrilegious because he said he was the Messiah and he wasn't.
Started creating a bunch of fan fiction.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Mary Sue in his own story.
Yes.
But Islam, I'm not so sure. I think Islam actually, there might be schools of thought where Islam or Jesus is the Messiah, but he's not the last prophet. And there might be some where Jesus is just another prophet, but Muhammad was the last prophet.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think from the Christian's perspective, you have to think as Jesus as the Son of God, not just a prophet, and that
Yeah.
he died for your sins, and that you have to ask.
Well,
through
there's
that,
no
you have
other
to
way
ask for
about it,
forgiveness.
but in Christianity, Jesus is the Messiah. He's the one and only. You have to follow him. I'm not...
I don't know if they believe in Islam if he's the Son of God or not.
No, I'm not sure about that. I definitely noticed that they treat him like a prophet, like Judaism treats him as the prophet. All right, we got cut off there again. I think we were talking about Islam.
Oh yeah, whether Jesus is a what Jesus's relation to Islamic faith is.
Well, anyone who's watching our channel at this point knows we're not sources of information. We're just sources of critique and commentary, but we don't know shit.
We're critiques of our own information.
That's right. We make fun of our own shit. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going watching this. This is actually so we agree this is kind of a weird outlier. Anyone who is in sounds like one of these people doesn't know what they're talking about, though, because they said, you can be Christian and still go to hell.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if that's the Christian belief or not, but that wasn't the question. Right.
It goes back to the Bible. It says that to go to heaven, you have to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord. And there's a lot of people who don't identify as Christians who believe that. What if there's a Satanist on his deathbed? At that moment, they confess with their mouth and they believe in their heart. They didn't live their whole lives being Christian. Are they going to go to hell? I don't believe that.
Well, it seems like at that point they'd be Christian, right?
Maybe not practicing, sure.
Right, but if a Satanist on his deathbed renounced his ways and accepted Jesus, that'd make him a Christian when he died, right?
Yeah, you would have to genuinely do that. Yes, believe that.
Oh, I'm just doing it as a trump card.
Yeah, it's just on your deathbed.
Yeah, it's Pascal's
What
wager.
if you die in a car accident? You don't realize it.
It's Pascal's wager.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
Not entirely, no.
Okay, Pascal's wager is you drop a matrix. Either God exists or he doesn't, and you either live your life as God exists or he doesn't. So the idea is that there's only one right gamble. So God exists, but he doesn't. So what's the consequence? Nothing. Oh wait, no, sorry. God doesn't exist, but you treat your life like God exists. No loss. God exists, and you treat your life as if though he existed, heaven. And then the alternative is God doesn't exist, or God does exist, and you live your life as if you don't believe he exists, hell. Basically, I could draw out the Matrix better, but I'm a little drunk at this point. But the idea is
Drunk on water.
Yeah, drunk on water. Damn it. God damn it, Tina. Yes. Pascal's wager is if you draw a matrix of God exists or God doesn't exist, and you live your life as if God exists, and you live your life as if God doesn't exist, there's only one correct outcome.
Okay, if you follow the matrices.
But yeah, basically. If you live your life as if God exists and he doesn't, no consequence. If you live your life as though he doesn't exist and he does exist, major consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the basic idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to place your bets on.
If you had to gamble, it's better to gamble on God exists. because there's no downside if you lose.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So on my deathbed, trump card. I think Christopher
Okay.
Hitchens did that actually. I don't know.
Do you think so? I don't know either. He died of cancer.
He did. He did die of cancer. I remember in his last interview, they asked him, like, if God exists, what are you going to say? And he actually was on the fence, it sounded like. He sounded like he was still an atheist, but, like, at the same time, he realized that, like, I'm dying now. There's no downside to me, like, basically. I don't know. Let's keep going.
So I think to say that if you're not Christian, you're gonna go to hell, it's kind of an absolute that drives more people away from Christianity than brings them in.
I'm thinking of babies that have died, and
Babies are all Christian.
Yeah, they were innocent.
Yeah, they were innocents. They didn't know.
Yeah. Come on.
Actually, I never knew the Christian answer to that. You were raised in a very Christian home. What is the answer for what happens to babies when they die?
I can't. Wish I remember.
Well, they never
I
accept.
think there is an inherent innocence, but we were all born fallen. And
Ooh, if we're all born fallen, then how is there an inherent innocence? There seems to
I
be
know,
a contradiction.
yeah, I wish I could remember my Christian teachings.
I don't remember this question. This is a good one.
Well, the other question that they have too is like people who didn't like native people who never heard of God or something like that.
Right. That's the same sort of question, yeah.
Yeah. And it would depend on how they. I think it depended on how they lived their life.
If you didn't know, okay. So if you didn't, well, babies don't really live a life. But if you didn't know that Jesus was your savior, how could you be punished for not accepting him? Seems like that would be a real dick move on God's part.
It would be. Yeah.
All right, but I don't know.
Back to the Old Testament God here.
Yeah.
So make sure you don't commit abortions.
That's not only are you killing a baby, you're sentencing him to
sending
hell. God, that's a really bad thing to think about, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a double whammy.
That's a real big
Making
win.
it even know how to make a sound.
God gives us a choice whether we want to spend eternity with him or whether we don't. And that's a free will choice that he gives to all
This
of
guy
us.
says more or less
And
along the
there are
lines of what we
people so
know,
rich
so I'm
that
going to skip it.
I'm scared
Okay, here we go.
of dying.
Scared of dying. What do we think? Agree or disagree?
Down the middle.
I'm going to say agree.
What is this? I haven't seen this one.
والله لا يعرف النوم انا وياه في الدنيا ما يرقدش لا انا ولا هو ولا عاد عندي.
That was depressing. Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, we get ads sometimes. Wow!
Whoa.
They're as united about this one as they are about abortion.
Abortion.
Yeah, I'm
So they
scared.
disagree. They're not scared.
No
Okay.
one's scared of dying.
Oh, they're all good Christians.
Sounds like it. Okay, so I guess this is full honesty. They have no reason to lie, I guess. I don't know.
Of course not. And they're not being recorded.
Right, well, they are being recorded, but at the same time, they're all anonymous. It's just like one of these things, like, you're not scared of dying? Really? Okay. Kudos to you. I want to hear what they have to say.
Gain. That's my father's favorite verse. We are gaining eternal life. We are gaining a new faith. We are gaining a new body. We are gaining everything. Not that being here doesn't have its joys, but to be with him, obviously.
You know, this is one I do envy them. I believe in the Christian ethic very strongly, but I don't have the same sort of faith in an afterlife that they do. That's pretty amazing. I envy that, actually.
Well, you know, rather burn in hell than praise God in heaven, because that's essentially what is a Christian. What you're doing in heaven is you're just kind of praising God and enjoying it for,
Sure.
all of eternity.
Sure. Wait, did you say it's better to burn in hell?
Sure. Yeah, I think that was the phrase I've heard before. Better to burn in hell than
Why?
something.
I can imagine a lot of things, and I don't think there's many things worse than burning alive. I mean, like, I get it. Like, I've heard that too. That like in heaven, all you're doing is praising God. But all I hear when I hear praising God is like love. And when I hear burning for an eternity, that doesn't sound like any. I literally would take anything other than that.
Freezing.
Sure.
Okay.
Like freezing, you become numb over time.
Sure.
Like burning.
When you become numb over burning over time, though.
Oh, this is an interesting discussion. Freezing freezing to death or burning alive, or burning to death. I think burning to death sounds like. I think that's one of the more painful ways you can die.
It probably is, yeah.
But wait, you said like it's better to burn in hell than praise God.
That's
what
how
the
much.
fuck? Okay, like you were raised Christian. That's a pretty far deviation, I must say.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't say that. I wasn't even raised as Christian as you were, but I would still say it's probably better not to burn for an eternity.
Well, more power to these Christians.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I kind of envy them because, like I said, I believe in the Christian ethic very strongly, but I'm not as committed about an afterlife. These guys are they're 100% committed to that there's an afterlife.
They're not scared at all.
Not scared at all. It's amazing, though.
Well, that shows their faith, I guess.
Yeah. One of these days, you're going to explain to me the benefits of burning for an eternity.
God damn.
Yeah. I always say I can't wait to die. My mom.
That's an interesting point of view. Can't wait to die.
Well, my dad was like that. He's like, I'm not long for this world. I'd rather be in heaven. So.
But wasn't he in? With all due respect, he was on death's door. He was dying when he said that.
He'd been saying that for long before.
Really?
You know, he passed. Yeah.
Wow. Huh. That's interesting.
It's a very Christian perspective. I thought they were going to be split down the middle, but
what did you think about that when you heard that? Is that kind of a sad thing to hear from your dad?
He's never.
Yeah.
No chance on him coming out of Christianity.
Well, it's not even about that, like whether you come out of it or not. But I mean, you have your father telling you, "I can't wait to die." It's a horrible thing to hear as a kid.
I mean, as a Christian, like you kind of know that, yeah, I'll be much happier in heaven. So it doesn't seem on the inside to be such a bad thing.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, you're not really, as a Christian, you're not really supposed to enjoy everything on earth. You can enjoy it, yes.
Right.
It's not a sin, but
you're not of the earth. I plucked you from the earth. Kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. It's just like you're meant to be with your creator.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. But it's still I'm thinking about the psychological toll that might take on a kid who has a parent who says, "I can't wait to die." And as a kid, I don't know if you can think about that.
It's not like excited to die. It's like he's just if my time comes sooner than later, and
Oh, okay.
Good.
That seems better, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. But this woman said she can't wait to die. Is that, or did we get on a little bit of a dissection? Tangent there. Let's go back.
I think she's just so excited about because you can't commit suicide.
No, you can't do that. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that much.
I always say I can't wait to die. My mom hates it. I always say it's like, God, take me now. Not suicidal. I always say, but I get what you mean.
They're laughing at this. What the fuck is going on?
This is really turning you.
Yeah, it is.
I know. I know. My sister, we're always like, God, just come take us. Like, we don't want to be here anymore.
Jesus.
I look forward to the day where I see the saints gathered worshiping Christ, and I could cry about it. It is going to be so surreal and so beautiful, and death is just the way to get there.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. You know what? Sometimes I think I'm borderline. That one was a weird one, yeah.
It made you feel a little weird?
Yeah, it did, because I have to emphasize this a lot, but I'm in terms of pure ethic, I really am Christian. I'm super that's the right way to be. But at the same time, this commitment to an afterlife, I don't understand it. Maybe that's weird on me. I don't know, but maybe it's not weird on me because I don't think it's. I would love to talk to someone like this, in the podcast, talk to a real Christian and actually get their point of view on this one, because this one befounds me. It's strange.
I actually don't think it would be hard to get a Christian on the podcast. They love talking about it.
Do you know any like devout Christians? Wait, is your sister no longer Christian?
No. Out Christians. I can't say that I do.
I only know
anymore.
one really, but
Not that I like keep in contact with her. It would be good for the podcast.
I know one. Like I have one friend who is really devoutly Christian, but he's a Jehovah's Witness. Does that count?
Oh, the Harry Potter of Christianity.
I don't know what that means, but he doesn't watch Harry Potter because that's.
I've kind of been quoting this special that just came out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, it's from Ari Shafir. It's called Jew. Great special.
Okay.
He kind of makes fun of a lot of religions.
For sure. But I would love to get him on the podcast and get his thoughts on Christianity. But I don't know if he'd do it because he knows I'm. He knows.
You think you might criticize him a bit too much?
I would try not to because I actually agree with him on a lot of things. But at the same time, he knows that I'm not like his form of Christianity, if that makes sense. And like, therefore, he would see it as like, I don't want it to be like an attack. So, but
I mean, he's all okay knocking on people's doors, though.
Well, yeah, he tries to convert people. That's not the case. We talk about religion a lot, actually, because he's the most religious person I know. So I'm curious about him. I'm very curious about him. But he also so we have real conversations. But he just like, I don't know if he would actually come on the podcast. I could ask.
Well, just let him know Tina's not going to tear him apart.
Yeah. If we could just make this is not Inquisition. This is just a friendly environment. You can discuss your beliefs. We have questions. We want
Are
answers.
you excited to die?
That would be a big question. Right. Okay,
I fear losing my non-believer friends
Last
and
one.
family.
This kind of speed one. Let's speed this. Kind of a mix. 5
Okay,
agree.
A little bit more shaded to agree.
I told you that was the case, right?
I thought I said so too.
Oh, really?
Wait. Yeah, I thought we were on the same page.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? Let's talk real briefly, and then we'll listen to him.
I mean, it's total sense. I mean, you obviously have some connection, with these people, and you probably would rather them be Christian or not. But on just a human level, yeah. I mean,
I would say that we live in a very anti-religious culture, and so when someone hears that you're religious, they immediately treat you with skepticism and like they got their barrier up. They got like, this person's crazy. I can't talk to them.
Sure.
I would say at least in metropolitan areas, maybe not in rural areas, but in like a lot of parts, you can't open up about your faith.
I could see that. Yeah.
So, which is the same. I love talking religion with people, atheists, religions, agnostics. So for the listener who's curious, I'm an agnostic, but that depends on the day. I'm an agnostic. Period. But like whether I'm religious or not depends very much on the day. It varies greatly over time.
It depends on your mood.
Oh, totally depends on my mood. It's so wishy-washy. As of right now, I'm not getting into heaven. As of right now, I'm not
in your own.
Yeah. I'll say it very firmly. As of right now, I'm not getting into heaven. But that's not because I'm like a devout atheist or anything like that. I just like.
Not looking forward to dying yet.
I'm a fence sitter. I am like a glorified fence sitter.
Agnostic would.
I'm a glorified fence sitter. Right here, okay. There we are.
Okay.
I'm a glorified fence sitter on this one. I fucking don't know.
I will not take a position.
Yes, never. I never take a position. That's my way of life. I don't take positions on anything. Good way to live.
It'd be the greatest thing to go to heaven and not see your siblings there.
I don't want to get into a little bit of a tangent on this, but I think that's the best way to live. Like Socrates said, the only real wisdom is that in the wisdom that you know nothing.
Yeah.
Once you become an advocate for anything, you cease to be a seeker of truth. You become a pawn for an ideology.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. That's the starting point, though.
Well,
I think
no.
is to recognize that you're a dumb person.
Yeah. But the problem is if
But
you
that
become,
doesn't mean that's the end point.
but if you become an advocate for something, don't you kind of rest your identity on whether you're right or wrong about it?
If you become an advocate,
So you're out there telling people, like, you could tell
Sure.
like everyone, like, okay, let's make this real simple. Sports fans, you're out there telling them the Bills are the best team, and the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. You rest it. You can't be wrong about this. The Bills are the best team.
sure.
You look really bad when the Bills lose, don't you? Just saying, when you get proven wrong.
I mean, especially if you put a lot of money betting on them.
Fuck the Bills. They're fucking sucking it up. They should
They
be
are.
better than they are. They've lost 2 straight now. What the fuck?
And to the Jets, one to the Jets.
I
I don't
know. I'm so upset
Yeah.
about this too because I'm kind of a big supporter of the Bills this year, and like they're really fucking it up. This is, they're either gonna win it this year or they're never gonna win it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
100%.
Oh, he's taking that position.
I'm taking a very firm position on this. I'm taking a very firm position. The glorified fence center is taking a firm position on the Bills. The Bills are gonna win it all, or they're gonna fuck it up forever.
This is where the fence stands.
Yes, the fence is made.
I mean, my dad isn't saved, and half my family are Catholic.
Uh-oh.
And I can't imagine a more miserable place than away from the perfect creator of all things.
In John 6, Jesus says that of all those that the Father has given me, I will not lose one. And so God is faithful and just, and I trust God that He will save all of His people. I do pray for my loved ones who are unbelievers. I share the gospel with them. But ultimately, I know it doesn't depend on me. Salvation is in His
Ned
hands.
Flanders of all the people here.
He's the Ned Flanders. He's the virgin.
Is he the virgin?
Yeah, he's one of the people, the few people who actually are good Christians. Waiting till marriage.
He definitely is like the stereotype.
Okay.
So it's not for me to fear or worry.
In the Bible, it says that it's God's will for everyone to be saved.
Fucking Moldovin.
But at the same time, the truth is that not everyone will. When I was an unbeliever, I would always wonder, why are Christians always wanting to shove their beliefs down my throat?
He did that with quotes as if it's not a thing.
Know what the Bible says, that people will go to hell, and we don't tell people.
To be fair, I mean, I haven't had Christians really shove their beliefs. I had one time. I remember one Christian who was super about shoving it down my throat because he was... I don't know why. It's just I've only known one person in my life who really wanted me to convert. And that wasn't like I'm not... The funny thing is, like, I tell people all the time I'm Christian, but, like, it was, like, because I wasn't his level of Christian.
Okay. his insane level?
Yeah. His... Well, I don't want to call it insane, but yeah. Like, because I wasn't going...
Like Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan, sure. Because I wasn't going to church every week, because I wasn't going to Bible study, because I wasn't praying before every meal. That's what he really wanted me to do. And so I stopped being friends with him. No, I didn't consciously do that because of that. It's just we drifted apart. But that's the only... I can only think of one person in my life who really, really, really wanted me to change.
Okay.
Can you think of people like that, like who really wanted you to change?
I never had like super pushy people, especially like, growing up in the church. Like, not a lot of people came and tried to like, oh, you got to come back, or do this or that.
Right.
It doesn't seem like the very Christian thing to do, from what I've understood. If I were a Christian back in the day, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't try to pull them back in the same way. If I were really close to them, maybe I would like mention something, but I'd have to be super close.
Yeah. So like, if you were still in the church and you were still a Christian, you would, when your sister fell out, you would try harder with her.
I guess she did kind of fall out.
Well, who fell out first, you or her?
Definitely her.
Really? Definitely her?
Definitely her.
Huh.
What's interesting is one of her best friends, who was just kind of hung out with her, didn't really, at least in my perception, didn't really believe, and then kind of fell out of the church, went back to the church and got like doubled down, and now she's like giving sermons, which is interesting, and they
Yeah.
cut off all her friendships with her previous friends.
So here's a question: which one of you is gonna go back to the church first, you or your sister? Who's more offensive? Who is the glorified fence sitter here? Who's gonna be the...
In all honesty, I think it would be me, since I'm the one that kind of crept back in a little bit a long time ago. But
I remember that. I know you don't remember it, but I remember it. I remember vividly. We were going to like Nader's like 4th of July party, and you wanted to talk about the like Bible or something.
did it really? Wow.
Something like that.
Didn't know it was that hard.
You were. Compared to all my other friends in college, you definitely
How
were.
old? Because this was
This
about
is like 20,
this is after I moved
19,
to Seattle.
19, 20, 21, somewhere in that range.
Okay, it would have been probably around 22.
Could have been 22.
Yeah. Wait, not 22, 12. 12.
Could have been 12.
It's great. 22 right now.
Could have been 13.
Yeah.
Could have been
Maybe
32. You don't know.
Could be 32. Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, it will probably be me, since I don't have a strong position.
That's the best position to take.
I'm agnostic, and
Glorified
I
fence sitter. God damn it. You're taking the glorified fence sitter position. I wish I could change your actual screen name, but I can't, so I won't. But
well, the problem with not having a position is you'd be easily swayed, right?
Thomas Jefferson, those who don't stand for something will fall for anything.
There you go.
Yep. That's a good note to end on, because it's getting really late now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, like, there's very little bit. Let's just finish the video.
About it. That blood is almost on our hands. And I do fear that there will be people that I know and love who won't ever come to God, but I know that there is still hope for them.
We'll have you put your masks back on.
This is a dramatic moment. They gotta hide themselves.
We can't know each other's,
That was it. This guy's a genius. I know that because they point at him.
So he's like genius in IQ level, he tested certainly.
I'd imagine that genius is based on IQ, yeah. All right, so we had a pretty good video there. A lot of good discussion topics, a lot of good conversations.
Yeah.
For those in the comment section, please.
Life and death.
Yeah. For those in the comment section, please share below like your religious experiences. Where are you on the spectrum? Are you moving more towards atheism? Are you moving more towards religion? Or where are you? Are you on the fence?
Okay.
Well, we actually love the fence sitters the most.
Are you on the spectrum like us?
I'm on the spectrum like the. I know what you mean by that. I know what you're trying to do, and it's accurate.
Yes. It's totally true.
It is totally true. Okay, any final thoughts?
The religion on the spectrum, people.
I'm very, 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 very pro-religion, and but I'm gonna sit on the fence for now as like whether it's real or not.
Sure.
But go to church.
There you go.
All right.
Live a little.
Yeah, live a little. Sure. For Tina and Karen do the tube, I am Karen.
This is Tina.
All right. Everyone stay safe out there and stay hydrated. We love you.